Hello, all you wonderful 6th graders who are doing CMP3 math, Data About Us 2.1. Today we're going to be learning about, or the title of it says, what's a mean household size? Now, when they're talking about mean, they aren't talking about angry, grr, mean, bleh. It's talking about what is your average household size. So up to this point, we have learned about mean. No, we haven't. We've learned about median, mode, range, max, and minimum. So, quick review of those because you're going to need those for today's assignment as well. So, your mode. Mode starts with mo, which means I want mo of it, so it means the most. It is the data point that occurs the most. Next, you have median. Median and medium are somewhat similar. Medium is right in the middle, and so is a median. So median is your middle data point. Range, I want to know, like if you're singing, your range is from how low to how high you can sing. And so in a data set, it's the range, the distance between your lowest number and your highest number. So in order to find those, you find the difference of your lowest and highest number. So range is the difference in your max and your minimum number. And then today, we are going to be finding our last thing that we need to know about our data before we can start analyzing a bunch of things for 6th grade, and that is our mean. Now, if you're reading 2.1, it says 6 students in the middle school class use the United States Census guidelines, which you guys have done the census because it's 2020 and we had to take a census this year, and I hope that you and your parents both filled out, well, you didn't. I hope that your parents filled out the census for 2020. I think it might be too late to fill it out. I don't know. But, oh, that's my daughter. She took part in the census, as in I filled it out. Anyway. United States Census guidelines define the number of people in their households. Each student made a stack of cubes to show the number of people in his or her household. The stacks show that the 6 households vary in size. These are all your different sizes. Ollie has 2 people in his family. Pablo has 6 people. I can't read this backwards, has 3. Ruth has 4. Gary, I think that's what it says, has 3. And this person, Brenda, has 6 as well. And it says, what is the attribute being investigated? The attribute is talking about what's being investigated. What are we looking for? If you were to answer the question, what are you answering? What we're looking at is the household size. I don't care what their names are. I don't care where they're from. All that I care about is how many people are in their household. How can you use the cube stacks to find the median of the data? Now, median means that I have to have what number? Well, the middle number. And you always have to have your data from least to greatest. You have to put them in order from least to greatest, smallest to biggest. And then you find your middle answer. So, from that, we have Ollie, who has 2, Yarnell has 3, Gary has 3, Ruth has 4, Pablo has 6, and Brenda has 6. Now, you have to check the number. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look on here. Do I have 6 families there? Yeah, I do. So I at least have my 6 pieces of data. Now I want to find my median. My median is in the middle. So if I look over here, if I count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, I don't have a middle number. So I have between 3 and 4. What number lies perfectly between 3 and 4? Well, we are going to find the mean, or the average, of those 2 numbers, and that will give you your median. So 3 plus 4 is 7. I divide that by 2 because there are 2 numbers, and you get 3.5. The average household, that's not the average, the median household is 3.5. We're going to hold on to that because we're going to see how all these compare. It also asks you, what is the mode? Mode is the number that appears the most. So what number appears the most? In this case, we have 2 modes. because 3 appears twice and 6 appears twice. Do I need to find the average of those two? No, I'm going to list both of them. So I would have 3 and 6. So now today what I want to find is the mean, which might be the most important, because if I'm asking you, if I go up to you and say, hey, like I'm traveling to a different country, hey, what's the average household size in Uganda? I'm not going to say, oh, well, Joe Black over here has 2 people and Henry McCluskey has 6 people. Like, no, I'm not going to ask that. I want to know, like, one number, what is the average household? Obviously, some are going to be bigger, some are going to be smaller. I want the average. And that, my friends, is what the mean is. So, mean means average. Now, in 5th grade or 4th grade, you learned what the average was. Obi. Just a second. This is Obi. Obi wants to go outside because I have the window open and I'm not letting him outside. Say hi, Obi. Yeah, okay. Bye. Anyway, so average, in order to find the average of something, hey, you stop that. You have to follow some steps. Do your numbers need to be in order? No, but I'm going to tell you to put your numbers in order from least to greatest anyway, because that way you can find all of the other things. But you need to, step 1, add. You're all done? You need to add all of your numbers. I don't think you are. Here you go. Yummy, 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 yummy. Okay, fine. Excuse me. Real life. Okay. Oh, jeez. Here you go. You can play with them. Okay, step 1. You need to add all of your pieces together. Step 2. Count your pieces of data. And 3, you are going to divide the total from up here by the number in the data. So let me explain, let me do an example of what that looks like. So let's take my household, for example. Meow, meow, meow. My household right now has I think a 26-year-old, a 31-year-old, a 32-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So I want to know what the average age is in my household. What is step 1? Well, step 1, because I like to have things in order for me, is to order things from least to greatest. So I'm going to change this to 2, 26, 31, 32. I had 4 pieces again, we're good. Step 2, sorry, step 1 for you guys if you wrote it down, is to add all of these together. Obi, dude, you gotta shut your face. Stop that. Oh my gosh. Step 1, you need to add all of them together. So 2 plus 26 is 28. 28 plus 32 is 60. And 60 plus 31 is 91. So my total here, after I add these together, oh geez, is going to be 91. So after I've added all of them together, that was step 1. Now I need to do step 2, which was to count the number in my data set. So in my data set, I had a 2-year-old, which is 1, a 26, a 31, a 32. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of data. So now I have, okay, so step 1, I added them and got 91. Step 2, count the number of my data set. There are 4 people. Step 3, I need to find the average, which is to divide 91 by 4. So I'm going to erase this so there's more room. I take 91, which is my total, and I'm going to divide it by 4. This is why practicing your division is always a good idea. 4 goes into 9 twice. Bring down your 1 from your 1's place. 4 goes into 11. How many times? 2 times, almost 3. Gives you 8. Oh my goodness. And you get 3. 4 can't go into 3, so you don't add a 0 there. Add a 0 here. 4 goes into 30. 7 times for 28. 2. And it goes. So the average age in my house is 22.75 years old. Now the question you might be asked, so that would be my mean. That is my average age. So when it asks you for your mean, step 1, add everything together. Step 2, figure out how many pieces of data you have. Step 3 is divide your total by the number of people or the number of pieces of data that you have. And that is your answer. Mrs. Rader, can I round it up to 23? No. Unless you have round to the nearest hundredths place. I believe that in your assignment that you're going to be doing, it's going to be an even number, or it's going to be 1 decimal. Obi. Anyway, but keep it as it is. On your homework, you might be asked, what if you remove 1 piece of data? If I remove my data, like my 2-year-old, so that I have, if I remove this, first I have only 3 pieces of data. So instead of dividing by 4, what would I have to divide by? I would have to divide by 3. Apparently, I have to hold the cat. Shh. So I would divide by 3 instead of by 4. What do you think is going to happen to the average age? Do you think it's going to go up, or do you think it's going to go down? Well, if I remove a 2-year-old, which is younger than all of the rest of us by a lot, I'm assuming that my average is going to go way up. And if I were to add those, 31 and 32 is 63. 63 plus 26 is 89. And if I divide that by 3, then I'm going to have 29.6 repeated. So yeah, it's going to go up quite a bit from 22.79 to 29.6 repeated. So that is a really quick overview of what mean is. On your homework, they're going to be asking you to make bar graphs, or they're going to ask you to make stacks of cubes. That's just so that you can visualize what these are. If that's confusing to you, that's okay. Just use the numbers instead. And because some of you are really good at visual learning, some of you are better with numbers. Just do what you need to do. If you have any questions, let me know and I will try to clarify it. This is a 2-day lesson, so if you don't get it today, I'm going to be going over part 1 tomorrow, and then also introducing part 2. So until then, I miss you guys dearly. I hope that you are having a wonderful Tuesday. And until next time, don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do, don't tell me about it. Bye.